It starts off with Otohime calling the trio from Tokyo to catch a traitor. He was from the Kyoto High School, Mekamaru. He was conspiring with Gero and the others to commit some dirty deeds, but they couldn't catch him. The reason why Mekamaru decides to help Gero and the others so that Mahito can use his ideal transfiguration to fix his wounded body. But then the battle broke out between Hanami and Mekamaru. You know, the enemies like to break the rules, which ended up in Mahito winning and death of Mekamaru. Wow, all that just so that he could die. I mean, he doesn't even look that good. Was it really worth going through all that trouble and betraying your friends? Anyway, one thing is that the creator really loves Mahito for some reason. He's possibly the most irritating character, but somehow he keeps winning. You will know what I mean by this later in the video. A curtain of 400-meter radius was cast with the Tokyo department store as its center to trap civilians, and all the Jujutsu sorcerers arrived to Shibuya to fix the issue, which is basically a deathbed for all of them. Gojo Satoru arrives, and so does the enemy team, and this begins the fighting arc. Hanami and Jogo double teams on Gojo, while the third guy decides to keep his distance and use blood manipulation, and of course, you know, killing innocent people in the process. The reason why this location was chosen, with all the people surrounding the fight, is to restrict Gojo's movements. I mean, his technique has a very high output, and due to which it's impossible to have no collateral damage, and he also cannot use his domain expansion. Then there will be a lot of innocent people who will be crushed between the domain and the curtain itself. Pretty smart move by the opponent, I would say. But this goes to show the enemy also cannot use the domain expansion either, cause then Gojo Satoru will have no choice but to cast his own domain. I mean, to fight a domain, either you beat the guy who cast the domain, or you lay down your own domain, you know, basic principle of domain expansion. But you know, it's Gojo. It's not that easy to beat this guy. He goes on to show them who the boss is with his ruthless attack. Gojo decides to deactivate his limitless, which made Hanami deactivate I don't know what this person is, his amplification, and that was the biggest mistake Hanami could have made, resulting in his death. Gojo then decides to go after Jogo, and Jogo decides to show why he is all talk and no bite, a fucking pussy, and asks Chuso, I think that's how you pronounce his name, to help him, and Chuso uses his blood manipulation. I don't even know like how you pronounce this name. As you can tell, they're just trying to keep Gojo busy so that he wears out a bit so they can execute their ultimate plan. But after this enters the most annoying guy in the series, Mahito. God damn it. He joins the team to fight Gojo as if he can beat him. And he also brings more people and transfigures with him to put Gojo on a disadvantage, making it difficult for Gojo to act, because they know that Gojo is cold-hearted and he can make difficult decisions, but there is no way he will let the casualties to increase. But you know, Gojo is Gojo. He goes all out and uses a domain expansion. But after the deactivation of Infinite Void comes the ultimate move of the enemy, the Prison Realm. After the Prison Realm is open, Gojo needs to be in 4-meter radius for 1 minute at least, and they need to keep him distracted so that the Prison Realm can do the deeds. And then come the mastermind, the creme de la, the cheese on top of the I don't know, the boy Gero, and his entry was enough to distract Gojo. I mean, when you see someone who you killed a year ago with your own hands stand there in front of you smiling as if like he is doing an award-winning performance or something, you will have a flashback of memories that are buried inside of you and you just don't want to remember. And you can't do anything but stand there because of something called shock. And that's what exactly happened, and bang, Gojo is sealed. That easy to catch Gojo. I know you guys might be wondering, if Gero was dead, how the fuck did he come back alive? Well, it's not technically Gero. The body is of, I mean, it's Gero, but the mind is someone else. It's not mentioned who is it yet, so I will not tell you, but I'll tell you this, it's someone from 1000 years ago who has the ability to hop onto bodies using the mind. I'm being a douchebag here, but I'm not gonna be a big douchebag who will spoil everything for you guys, okay? So even after Gojo sealed, the prison realm needs time to process Gojo Satoru. This goes to show how persistent and strong Satoru is. On the other hand, Team Yuji also starts to encounter curses. Yuji shows his physical prowess, beating the curses to a pulp. Then he meets up with his teammate Meme and this ISKCON fucking boy. After that, he got the news of Gojo being sealed and goes to tell Nanami and the others. Meanwhile, the enemy team decides to go after Yuji to kill him, of course. Nanami decides to go alone and leave Yuji and Megumi to Ino to take care of the curtain and rescue Satoru. A bit of a team talk, and they found out the curtain's source of origin, which is of course the Shibuya S Tower. They moved to the top of the tower to find out 3 enemies looking after the curtain, and after that, you know, the fight begins. Yuji and Megumi team up to fight this weird muscle guy, and Ino decides to take on the boy and the old hag. Yuji uses his physical prowess to beat the enemy, while Megumi joins in with his dog's foot muscle guy to a disadvantage. The enemy is a man of steel, and their hits on him are useless. He managed to scratch Yuji using average high school bully tricks. The fight gets extreme, you know, normal stuff, and they overpower each other back and forth. And then Megumi brings out his main trick, the bunny attack, and figures out a way to beat this guy. His curse technique is inverse, meaning strong attacks become weak and weak attack becomes strong when activated. Duo decides to use the frog attack cause it's weak, and that was it. Yuji and Megumi goes all out and beat the man of steel. Ino shows his technique while the boy saves the old hag who is doing some kind of enchantment. She continues doing her enchantment while the young man dies in the fight, Lamau. But once the enchantment is over, things changes. The guy eats something and turns into Toji Zenin, and things gonna get extreme. Ino can't match up to Toji and gets beaten to a pulp as if like he's a punching bag. The curtain goes off and any sorcerer can now move freely. Megumi sees Ino falling from the sky and both goes on to catch him. Toji goes on to kill the old hag because when he changed to Toji, his body is so strong the boy's soul couldn't keep up and lost, and Toji body took over, and bang, the hag is dead. Yuji leaves Megumi and heads to the station, and Megumi tells Yuji that if he dies, he will kill him. Don't know what that means, but sure. Now Noboru Nita encounters the enemy. I don't know his name. Noboru uses her skills because she is not useless, unlike someone, but the enemy is so strong his weapon has a mind of his own that injures Nita, who ran cause she is a manager. I mean, managers don't fight, so yeah. This made Noboru mad, but then comes the guy who is even meta, whatever, Nanami, and shows the enemy his place. Man, I'm not even joking, I can actually hear this panel. I can tell that it's fucking wild, bro. I don't want to be in his situation. Meanwhile, Yuji sees many curses going wild in public, and there he meets Inumaki taking care of the things. Nanami tells Nita and Nobudo to wait for the rescue team cause they will get in the way. Meanwhile, Meme and Siscon meet the mastermind Gero, and the fight breaks out. How many times have I said this line? Gero sends his curses towards Meme and she shows the skills, same stuff, gets cornered in a life-threatening situation but comes out, and what the fuck is this like? So this guy, Yui, I don't know. Meme asks him if he can die for her and he agrees. Fucking single cell creatures are really handful. He uses simple domain and Meme uses a black bird manipulation bird strike to kill the curse, and fun fact, only Satoru has survived this attack from Meme. Damn, she's strong. I didn't know that. I thought she was only hot and not strong or whatever. Now comes the fight. Yuji meets Chuso. Trust me, this fight is something. Chuso uses condensed piercing blood. I can't bother to explain it. Just read this. So he uses it and Yuji barely escapes. Yuji closes the distance and uses his fist. You can tell he's good at fisting. Chuso keeps attacking using his piercing blood and Yuji keeps dodging, but Chuso was one step ahead and he let Yuji get close so that he can use his supernova, and bang, a critical hit. But Yuji fights back with wounded body, but Chuso don't hold back. Again, uses convergence, but Yuji takes it like a boss. Yuji talks to Mekamaru. I don't even know how is this shit still working. Yuji runs to the toilet and Megamaru uses his douchebag abilities to piss Chuso off, and it basically worked. Chuso runs towards the toilet, Yuji sneak attack on Chuso, and now Chuso cannot do anything because the blood is dissolved with the water that's been constantly flooding in the toilet. What a waste of water, honestly. Africa would be pissed with this panel. Chuso decides to go hand to hand with Yuji, but he sneakily uses blood manipulation using the blood he stored and didn't expose to the water to pierce Yuji's liver. But Yuji still don't give up, and even though Yuji is strong mentally and physically, he comes short and loses. But then comes the main man, Sukuna. He uses his curse to flood Chuso with an image of him with his bros in the park having a picnic, and Yuji was there too. Well, spoiler alert, he's also Chuso's brother. They don't even look alike. I don't even know. Like, then these high school chicks come in and feed Yuji a finger to bring Sukuna. So Maki and the others fight this curse, octopus looking. He lays out a domain and Megumi enters the domain from the outside and uses his own domain. Maki shows a prowess and skills. The definition of waifu. The curse decides to crush Megumi domain to establish dominance. Nanami helps his student. Megumi tries to open a hole in the octopus's domain so that they can escape the domain and can win the battle. But as they create a hole comes Toji Fushiguro. Toji goes after the octopus after taking Maki's weapon and beat the octopus to a pulp, and the domain vanishes. But then Toji steals Megumi so that he could fight him, but then he realizes that Megumi is his son and asks his name, and since it's Fushiguro, he stabbed himself. I guess we know why. Then comes Jogo, the fucking loser, beating Nanami and the others, and after he felt Sukuna's presence, he ran to the site and goes to feed Yuji 10 more fingers to wake up the final boss. After Sukuna woke up, everyone felt the evil presence. Sukuna chopped Jogo's head off because he thinks his head is way too high. Kinda funny if you ask me. He asks the kids what they want. Of course, it should worth one finger, but the kids ask way too much, and yeah. Jogo asked Sukuna to make a binding vow with Yuji before he takes control again, and of course Sukuna denied, but he decides to kill every human in Shibuya except one. Leave the comments below if you know who that one is. Panda and his team encounter some enemy, but as they were about to fight comes in Sukuna beating Jogo. Of course Sukuna overwhelmed Jogo. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, Jogo's a pussy. Jogo uses fire power against Sukuna as if like that's gonna work. Panda and the others decides to run, but Sukuna, he told them to wait until he says so, and of course he tells them to run. Boy, did they run like Flash. Holy shit. Jogo thought that Sukuna must have heard from this attack, but it didn't even hit. Then Sukuna decides to show his flames, and this begins a fire power battle. Sukuna shows his flame skills. I want to see this scene animated so badly. And so Sukuna devours Jogo, and as if like there is any doubt. And then comes Sukuna's servant Urayume. Meanwhile, Megumi was fighting this fucker and got are cornered and decides to summon a monster and passes out. Meanwhile, Sukuna senses the presence of the monster and runs to the side. He saves Megumi from dying because he wants to sleep with him and goes to fight the monster. Sukuna uses dismantle, but monster heals itself. Sukuna goes on to show why he's the final boss, although the monster is very strong. After that, Sukuna was able to find out that the monster uses the wheel on the back to adapt to any phenomenon by spinning it once, and goes to use his domain expansion. He creates an effect range of 140 meters just outside Megumi to keep him out of harm. He really wants to sleep with him badly. And as long as Malevolent Shrine is gone, it will attack all the targets within the range, basically killing everyone. And yeah, he also killed the monster using the arrow afterward, and also kills this guy. After that, he gives Yuji the control. After seeing the disaster Sukuna did, he had a breakdown. Kinda sad, honestly. After that, we see Nanami fighting curses while thinking about a vacation, and then he comes across Mahito. Also comes Itadori. Mahito kills Nanami, which is honestly fucked up considering that a good character like Nanami died at the hands of this douchebag. And after that, Yuji goes after Mahito. I mean, it's a given. Now do you believe me when I said creator really loves Mahito? He has a fucking plot armor. What the fuck? Yuji fights back, and more fighting and more fighting. I guess this is basically it. Yeah, there are a few more things like Mahito versus Noburo. I think Mahito split his body into two, and one was fighting Itadori and the other was fighting Noburo. Basically, Noburo gets bested, but I don't think she's dead. I think so. This is about it. I think I have covered every single major event, and the rest are just aftermath. So I hope everything is covered. If I have missed anything, make sure to leave in the comment section below. Of course, I haven't covered the aftermath fights, but anyway, if I missed anything, make sure to leave in the comment section below. And thanks for watching this video, guys. Thanks for sticking around till the end. Make sure to like this video. This video took so long to make. Making the script was fucking hard, bro. So you better like this video, okay? Let's aim for, I don't know, 1,000 likes. Alright, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, see ya.